So let's talk about when you're done, you're ready to wrap up your work, you're ready to stop your instance, because in the lab environment, we don't need our servers running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In fact, the lab servers will be put to sleep automatically after a few hours. Anyway, if I stop this instance manually in the Amazon Web Services interface, I'll stop incurring per hour charges. I could check that box next to my server and go to instance state, and then I could choose stop instance. That puts it to sleep. And I stop incurring most of the per hour charges. Instead of 10 cents an hour, I'll be charged a fraction of a penny per hour just to store the file on disk somewhere in Amazon's data center. Alternatively, if I pull up this lab interface, this Vocarium lab interface, if I click end lab here, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll click end lab. Do I want to end this lab? Sure. Like I'm done for the day. That will put all of my virtual machines to sleep. For example, if I move this off to the side and refresh this interface, I'll see this error message because the lab is losing its access. It's turning off in the back end. That instance is being turned off. All the files, everything will be there when I boot everything back up. But right now, the lab is essentially just paused, so I can't access any of my content. I'm going to wait just a minute just to make sure everything shuts down completely. Then I'm going to start my lab again. All right, it's been a couple minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and click Start Lab. And it's going to take a little bit. When I click Start Lab, everything's going to kind of warm up, and all of my EC2 instances, my virtual machines, will begin to start. They won't be ready right away because it takes them a minute to boot, but they'll begin to start. So I'm going to pause this video until that light goes green. Okay, it didn't take too long. It's green, so I'm going to click that AWS button. That'll take me to the console. I'll close that other window back there that I don't need anymore. I'll go to EC2, and I should see that my instances are running. Notice it still says initializing. That's totally fine. Takes a minute. Lots of things take a minute. While this is booting up, I will note that when these boot up, they will get a new public IP address every time that they boot. So if I look at my downloads folder and I look at that remote desktop file that I downloaded previously, I'm just going to right click on it and I'm going to open it in Notepad just to take a look. The IP address that my Windows Server EC2 instance had before I turned it off was 44.221.64.21. It's going to have a new one when I start it up this time. Because it's going to have a different IP address, this remote desktop protocol file that I downloaded previously isn't going to work. So what I have to do is I have to go re-download it, which isn't super fun, but worse things have happened in the world. I'm going to refresh the status of my instances and see if I'm ready to move on. Okay, it's passed its checks. That's good. So if I want to reconnect, I can't just open up that remote desktop protocol file. I've got to check the box next to my Windows Server instance, click Connect, go to the RDP client page, download the remote desktop file, and I'm just going to save it right over the old one because the old one isn't useful anyway. Click Save, replace it. Sure thing. And let's say I forgot my password. Like I put it somewhere. I tried to save it in my password manager, but I lost it. I can get that password again, upload my private key file, decrypt the password if I need it, if I didn't save it properly before. Don't select anything, just hit that copy button and we're good to go. So I'll go back to my downloads and this is my new file, just updated it. Same name as the old one. But I do want to connect. I will paste in the password, click OK. Yes, I really do want to connect. It's going to try to take over my screen, which I don't want. But when I log back in, the file that I had put on my desktop, yeah, it's indeed still there. There's my gem text file. So all the data persisted, even though I stopped my lab and restarted everything, all the data should persist. So I can pick up where I left off. I'm done now with this. So I'm just going to close it again. All that for just to check to make sure that file was there. Yeah, pretty much. You will be disconnected. I know. I'll at least show you back here in EC2, my list of instances. I could stop my Markwoodson Windows Server instance just by checking that box and going to instance state stop. Yes, I would like to stop. And this will shut it down also. So if I have several virtual machines and I only want to run a couple, I could stop as many as I want. All right, at this point, hopefully you feel comfortable connecting to the lab, booting up your instances, and connecting to a Windows Server instance using the remote desktop protocol.